So now let's go over here and do the vent. And in order to do that, first we have to go to the plan and this level right here. So then I'll create a detail view right here that goes through the plan horizontally. All right, and then after the cut line has been applied, we have to select the align tool and lock up the cut line with the tip of the fitting here, meaning the center of the piece. So then I'll decrease the depth of the cut line and then go to view. Now here I'll select the box and drag it down, and then we go up from here. Now let's see what we have for the measurements of the vent here. All right, it's about 63. So I'll select the pipe tool and then we go through the menu to select this one. All right, and now let's change the diameter to 63 millimeters. So we go up here, select the diameter, and all right, we have 63. Now then we go to the mechanical section of the pipe, and for the system type, we'll put this under vent type. All right, after that, we go to the plan, and from this point, we start to draw the vents, and we go all the way down here, and then stop here, and then we start another vent to the right direction, and then we'll stop halfway, and then we'll change the direction and start going down. Then we stop here once again, and then we rotate to the right. Now we have to use a 45-degree angle to connect up the vent to the system here. All right, so then I'll delete the extra bits and put the scaling on 1 to 20. All right, let's change it to 1 to 5 so we can see this part better. All right, so down here we actually have our beam, which goes alongside the line here, and the venting might have a collision point with the beam. So I'll select the vent system and move it upwards to prevent any collisions. So then I'll hit tab here, and as you can see, it's been placed on top of the beam and there are no collisions. Let's just move it a bit to the left, and then this part here is actually inside of the floor itself, and then we only have this part left. So we'll go over to the 3D view to get a better look at this, and now we're actually modeling this part over here. Now in order to connect these two up, first I'll select this part and change its angle to 65. There we go. So now we can connect these two up. So we select the three-way fitting, and then we drag it over here, Control Z here, and then let's select the other piece instead and move it over here and connect it to this one. And now let's go over to the plan. Now here we can select the fitting that's below, and then we can move it upwards to connect it to the three-way fitting. And then we just have to find the connection point. Let's see, I'll place it here. All right, but the connection point is actually over here to the left, and we have to move it so that the two connection points match up. All right, and so for the pipe that we had over the right, we go over here and select it, and then move it over here to see where the connection point is located. All right, so before we can connect these two up, we just have to find the angle first that matches the three-way fitting. So first, let me move this backwards. All right, and then it's right here. So let's try this once again, grab the fitting and pull it over here. So because the angles don't quite match up, it's just hard to find the connection point. First, I'll have to hit Ctrl Z to reverse the actions and then move the arrangements around a bit. So for now, let's delete the fitting that we have here and then go up here and select the pipe that we have up top. And then I'll create a similar pipe down here in order to help us find the cheat code. So draw the pipe that goes horizontally here, then select this and move it up, then right click here and draw a pipe which goes through the piece here, and then we can use a line to connect the middle of this with here. Then I'll place this right over here in this point, and then I'll go back to the 3D. Now here I'll select the pipe in the middle. I think we just don't have enough space for it. So then we go to the plan, and then let's move the pipe around and bring the piece down here to see what we can do with it. Alright, so after that we can go back to the 3D, and let's see, I'll select and delete the pipe in the middle, and we try this once again. So let's go to the cut line, where here we can select the fitting and then right click and draw pipe, and the pipe goes all the way down here and connects to this piece. Now we can see the three-way fitting has been created. Alright, so then I'll go over here and select this and get rid of it. And then over here we need to figure out what angle we have to use for connecting these two bits up. Alright, let's go over to the plan. And then here, let's hit Ctrl Z to reverse the action. I didn't find the angle quite right. It's about 90. So I'll select the three-way fitting and put a 90 for the angle. Alright, now we have the fitting that connects to this one from below. We can right click here and hit draw pipe. Alright, now let's see what else we can do here. So before we can proceed, we'll have to go over to the 3D and get rid of all the unnecessary bits that we've created. Alright, so get rid of this, and then let's go back to the plan where we can delete the pipe here that connects these two, and then we can select the align tool to bring down the system and connect these two up. Alright, now we just have to be careful to move this as just as much as space that we have. So select it and drag it upwards to this point. Now they've connected fully. Alright, then after that we can select the align tool from the tip of the three-way fitting to the center of the piping system on the right. Then I'll align the cut line as well to the center of the pipe, and then I'll go to the view. Now here we can select and delete this pipe, and then we go to the architecture tab and select the reference plane perpendicular to the fitting on the right. Then we'll lock the piping system on the left to the reference plane, and then drag the system over here and connect it to the piping on the right. And alright, that's all for this piece. Now let's see, the two pieces that have been moved here have disconnected, which we have to reconnect. So after doing that, you can see we have the vent pipe upstairs, which we have to create. So we can select this and disconnect it from the system, and then put it under the vent system type. Then we'll reconnect it to the system, but we just have to make sure we use different colors for each part. Now after that, let's go back to the detail view, right click here and hit draw pipe, which goes up here, and then we go to the right. We just have to move the system upwards in order to avoid any collisions with the suspended ceiling. After this, we go back to the plan, and let's see, we had a cut line for this one as well. Alright, we don't have any, so I'll select this one instead and align it to the piping system up top. Now we just have to find the center point of the piping system. So we align it to here. Then I'll hit right click and go to view. After that, I'll select the vent here and move it upwards. Then right click here and hit draw pipe. Then we draw the pipe up to this point and then to the left. Then we go back to the 3D. So now let's see what we have for the elevation of the pipe here. It's about 2.55. So Ctrl C to copy that, and we'll give the same elevation to this one on the right so that they match up. And then we'll go over here to the pipe here and hit draw pipe, where we can draw the pipe towards the up direction, and then stop right here and then connect the system and the pipe in this point. Now this system here goes through the riser that we have located here.